This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Marcus Aurelius Anderson. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I'm phenomenal. How are you doing, my friend?
I am excellent, actually. I'm really great. Feeling really great. A bath right before you podcast helps tremendously. Tip number one. Yeah?
It sets the tone and it gives you a nice clean slate in which to begin, yes?
Yeah. What's really cool is the conversation before yours ended with my friend saying clarity breeds mastery. So, yeah, I'll say cleanliness breeds mastery.
I would have to agree.
Well, do tell me, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Oh, my goodness. I think my talent is my ability to see opportunity in adversity and to embrace it as a chance to grow stronger for the future.
Who did you learn that from?
I learned it from my own experience, from being injured and from being paralyzed and being told that I would never walk again. And it really made me do a lot of truly brutal self-inspection and take a good hard look at my life when I never would have done it in any other way.
Ooh. How were you injured?
When I was in the military in 2012, when I was preparing to deploy with the infantry, I suffered a severe spinal injury that left me paralyzed from the neck down. They rushed me to the hospital. I died on the operating table twice in the process, but they were able to save my life. But when I came to in the ICU, they said, the beautiful thing is you're alive to tell the tale. The tragedy is this is what you're left with. So I went down a very dark road. I was literally suicidal, but I couldn't even act on it because of my condition. So that's when I began my rock bottom and my beginning of my journey to the man that you're speaking to today.
So is it possible for you to walk now?
I am. I'm able to walk now. I spent 3 months in just anger and venomous hate at anyone around me. But what I was doing was I was projecting my own disappointment about myself. I turned 40 years old, broke, divorced, bedridden, and paralyzed, and it felt like I had been slapped by the universe or by God or whatever you believe in as a higher power. And it made me really feel like I'd been given a lot of talent, a lot of time, a lot of opportunity, and that I had not actualized it. So I felt like whatever it was like, you know what? We gave you all this time. You had 40 years and you squandered it. So we're taking it back. And that's when I really started looking at all the stuff in my life that I had waited on. And so what it gave me is it gave me a tremendous understanding of how important urgency is in all the things that we do. So like you mentioned before, life is short. And sometimes it's shorter than we even believe it is.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. How often do you visit this place, the place of the past where this pain existed?
Actually, I stay very close to it. I stay as tethered to it as I possibly can because it is a great reminder for me to never take anything lightly. And even now, I still have numbness from the middle of my forearms to my hands and from the middle of my shins to my feet. So in a lot of ways, that's that constant reminder. And the natural reaction for all of us is when we face something difficult, when we face pain or trauma or adversity, we want to put as much distance between us and that place as we can. But if we do that, we lose a huge opportunity to actually take a really good look at what's going on, because when the wound is fresh, that's when we can do our best introspection. So I try to visit it daily, at least in some capacity or another, to keep me very grateful for what I truly have and to be grateful for the things that I don't really feel like are blessings, but again, are opportunities to learn more about myself.
Sounds like a great TED Talk.
It was a pretty good TED Talk, I'd like to think it is. I've had a tremendous response from it, and there are some people that when they hear the title, The Gift of Adversity, it doesn't resonate with them or it doesn't make sense, or some people will actually get angered by it. But the people that understand it, it resonates with immediately. And I've even had some people that have told me, a year ago that they were angered by it and it didn't seem to make any sense by the title, but then they'll email me or send me a message a year later and say, hey, listen, I've gone through some hardship and now it all makes sense. So I try to meet people where they are with my experience, and if it helps them, then I'm honored by that.
Have you ever found an opportunity where, I think you'll call it an opportunity where you look for the pain that you can cause yourself, understanding the gift of it?
I absolutely do. I do it in, David Goggins has an amazing book out now, and he's truly incredible. And he's a great example of the extreme version of that, where I do things. I did a 5-day fast recently. I try to push myself physically as much as I can because I want to really honor the physicality that I still possess. And in that hardship, even whether it be taking an ice cold shower and trying to do Wim Hof breathing or trying to reduce my food intake, the reality is for me, my enlightenment comes from deprivation. And if we're able to do that in other ways to prolong our satisfaction, it allows us to have more strength and resilience, and then we can channel that to help others in other situations.
Yeah, love it. Wim Hof is amazing, one. And two, I think it's really good too when you have the opportunity to turn it off when you can. It's one thing, long ago, right? When this is the way life was, right? So you learned from adversity, but it's really a grand freedom, if you would, I think, being able to decide, hey, this is part of what makes me greater, doing it, and then just opening the door or opening the fridge, right, and getting the food, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's about having that ability to, like you say, to turn it on and turn it off. And the nice thing is, hopefully, we don't have to use it very often. But it's like life insurance. I pray I never need it, but if something happens, I'm really glad that I have the resilience if it's necessary. Love
it. All right. Where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. They can find me on any of the social media, Facebook, Instagram. If they want to go to my website, marcusaureliusanderson.com, they can find out more about me if they want to hire me as a coach or a speaker. If you want to grab my book, you can find it at Amazon.com, and my TED Talk's out there too on YouTube.
The gift of adversity. Love it.
Indeed.
All right, my friend, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Marcus, what is your earliest childhood memory?
The house I started to grow up in, I guess I was probably 4 or 5 at that time. I remember having a dream back then that kind of woke me up, and it was a little bit scary. It was a dream that I was being chased by something and I couldn't move, and I was frozen in my tracks. And eerily enough, that's the way I felt when I was injured. I felt like I was running from something, and the reason I couldn't see what was pursuing me was because paralysis is something that can only be experienced and not seen.
Wow, you've definitely dived into this memory before.
I have.
How do you see it connecting to who you are today?
I see it as sort of that beginning thread that really helped me come full circle. And until I took that journey through adversity and that fire, there's no way I could be doing what I'm doing now. I was in chiropractic school before with the intention of serving people in my environment with my hands and trying to help as many people as I could. But I see the same thing now. It's just that I'm not using my hands. I'm using my voice, my teaching, and my book to help reach more people. And honestly, I'm able to reach more people with more of an impact now than I believe I ever could have with just my hands in a small environment.
Did you ever identify in your dream who was chasing you or what?
I never did. I felt like I was stuck when I couldn't move. I actually would try to scream and I couldn't make any noise, and I couldn't look around at anything. I just felt completely paralyzed. And we can use that as an analogy for everything in life if we feel like we're paralyzed with indecision or with fear to move forward. But what I would recommend to anybody is don't allow that fear of not moving forward to stop you, because hesitation is the killer not only of dreams and ambitions, but also of our greatest desires if we allow it to maintain that chokehold on us.
Can I suggest something?
Absolutely.
What if that person was you?
The person that was chasing me?
Yeah.
It very well may have been. There's a lot of times I've revisited that feeling and that memory, and it may have been me chasing me to move me into urgency forward in my life. And again, I feel like it sort of manifested in that injury. So there were a lot of, it was sort of cathartic in a scary, morbid kind of way, I guess.
That's amazing. Wow. I love it. Ooh, deep conversation. Amazing audience. All right. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, Marcus, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was probably some horrendous rock song back then. Probably something by Led Zeppelin. Maybe Fool in the Rain by Led Zeppelin. I love that song.
All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form, so it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready, Marcus?
I am indeed.
Marcus, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
I have.
Are you married?
I am not.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in a higher power.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Indeed,
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
Oh, hell no.
What about 3 hours a week?
Per week, yes, but only if I'm looking at something to try to increase my edification.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less, but it could easily be more if I wasn't as disciplined.
Marcus, this has been a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share? Oh, no, I forgot one question. Ooh, I'm going too fast. Marcus, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Marcus Aurelius Anderson, what would you say that is?
I would say adversity is a gift, embrace it.
Love it. My friend, now it's a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I would like to just tell everybody that no matter what you're going through right now, that you are stronger than you believe and you have more power than you even realize. So start acting with that belief now, and you will be amazed at what you can accomplish when you face any kind of adversity or hardship.
Marcus Aurelius Anderson, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, my friend.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.